Dear students, in this class we are going to be studying about the subtopic of social significance of work. In this subtopic, we are going to learn how to apply the different sociological perspectives to the theme of work. In this video, I will be focusing primarily on the views of Karl Marx on work, and in doing so, we are going to be learning about a new theme, which is the theme of alienation, which is mentioned particularly in the guide. We need to understand and realize that Karl Marx's work is based at the structural level, or his perspective is what we call a macro level perspective. Secondly, he utilizes the materialist ontology in explaining his analysis of society to us. Thirdly, his views are based on the concept of economic determinism. You can recall how within the model of society provided to us by Karl Marx, the institution of economy happens to be a part of the infrastructure. The institution of the economy consists of the relations of production as well as of the means of production. Apart from this, we also realize and understand how Karl Marx was concerned about the capitalist mode of economy within modern industrial societies. So based on this particular context, now let's begin to discuss the concept of alienation. In a very easy manner, we can try to understand alienation as something that becomes alien to us. If you take a look at popular Hollywood films or cartoons, generally the concept of alien is something that is very separate and different to us, something which is just a kind of a stranger to us. Therefore, generally speaking, the term alienation is translated in English language as something that is a form of estrangement. A more technical definition of this could mean dehumanization. Marx talks about the concept of alienation in his early work. Please keep in mind that the theme of exploitation, which we've already studied in the course, happens to be a part of his later work. Marx considered that the labor workers who work under conditions of division of labor in modern industrial societies and the production systems, which are primarily based on things like the assembly line production, they experience increasingly dull and boring tasks at work. Because they're not able to see their entire production process, and they are not able to have control over the various means of production and the various production processes. Therefore, Marx considered that this has an important impact, basically a negative impact on their lives. There are four types of alienation that Marx talks about. First of all, there is alienation from the production process. Labor workers do not have any control over the production process. Secondly, because workers in such factories are working in shifts, they do not have that feeling of companionship, that feeling of acquaintance, which at times is extremely important for individuals to thrive and to enjoy their work. Therefore, this leads to the second type of alienation, which Marx considers is alienation from labor workers. Thirdly is alienation from the product. Now, while the worker has contributed in one way or the other within the system of division of labor to produce this product, the product does not belong to him. Consider workers who are working in a factory that manufactures mobile phones. While the workers are contributing in their own special way towards making the mobile phones, but ultimately the phone does not belong to them. It has to be bought by them within the capitalist mode of economy from a market. Lastly, Marx considers that there is alienation from one's own species being. This is a technical term. Primarily, it refers to how individuals working under such type of conditions, they experience a loss of their own human nature. Please keep in mind, let me remind you that Marx was approaching this topic from a materialist ontology. Therefore, according to him, what really makes us human is the idea of us as humans engaging in creative production. This type of creative production is not possible under the factory systems in modern industrial societies, particularly within the capitalist mode of economy. So, therefore, he considered that we become strangers to our own creative spirit and to our own human nature. And this ultimately robs us of our own humanity. So, therefore, students, it is important for us to understand how the concept of alienation can be utilized to understand the social significance of work from a Marxist point of view. Please keep in mind that the views of Karl Marx about this are quite negative. Within your answers, you may want to bring in the discussion on alienation in a combination with the discussion on exploitation, which you're already quite familiar with while building your sections in the essays.